What is up, everybody? This is TB3 episode 102. We get to talk about a huge Bucs victory this Sunday, and we get to talk about some Lightning. The Lightning played 4 games this past week. Wasn't the best, but we're here. We're ready to talk about it. But I think, big thing is let's talk about this Bucs win, man.
Man, Bucs win 5-1. Just really, really impressed with the one and only Baker Mayfield. I mean, just what a guy. I think he should be undoubtedly the MVP favorite currently. And he's doing it with just major injuries across the board on the offensive side of the ball. Baker Mayfield was really impressive. I mean, something about seeing that red and gold and that 49ers logo brings out the Superman in Baker Mayfield. I mean, last year you have him fending off Nick Bosa with one arm and throwing a perfect pass on 4th down in a loss. And this year, in a win, you have a 3rd and 14, just insane scramble. I think Next Gen Stats gave Baker Mayfield a 3.7% chance of picking up the first down on that play, and he picked it up. So you have a 100% chance to pick up that first down when Baker Mayfield is your quarterback.
I think if he's MVP, that will be probably number 1 or 2 in the highlight reel of the season. Like, just insanity.
Oh, yeah.
That play will live with me for a long time.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
he was in college, we'd be calling that his Heisman moment. I mean,
you'll remember where you were when that play happened.
I was dumbfounded. I could not believe
I
what
was
I was
alone
watching.
and I lost it.
Yeah, I was too. It was insane. Yeah, it was crazy. Obviously, and then you got Tasmanian Devil with a fingertip grab. I saw a meme where it was comparing Tez to Dash from Incredibles, and that one scene at the end of the movie where Frozone throws him the remote control and he runs under it. Like, that's what Tez looked like, and it was a great catch. I was just very, very impressed.
He deserved the MVP chance in that moment.
That was awesome.
Yeah, a couple of those might have been for you, Tez.
That was awesome. I seen my brother Luke was corresponding at the game. He said it was an electric crowd, said it was a fun atmosphere. Raymond James has been bumping this year, man. It really has been. So,
Will, you think any of those Beefo Brady 49ers fans were there?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, did we?
I don't know if it came up on the show, but I mean, that was probably as good as ever to talk about it.
Yeah, for those of you not knowing what we're talking about,
how would they know what you're talking about?
Because I don't think we talked about it on the show.
I kind of figured we might.
Yeah,
I don't know. That don't matter.
But yeah, anyways, when Joel and I went to our famous Dale Mabry doubleheader, we stopped at Beef's. I'll see you at Beef's in between the Rays and the Bucs game. And Beef O'Brady's, this one off of Dale Mabry, just north of the stadium, was a 49ers watch party. Everything in there was 49ers. There's flags up. Like, I mean, what? 30 to 40 people who are all 49ers fans. And maybe that's all of them in this area. But it's like, we just watched one of the, most epic finales of a Bucs game. And we're expecting, big crowds. Everybody's going crazy at Beef's, the place to meet up after a Bucs game. And it was just all 49ers.
Yeah.
All 49ers.
They had the entire porch taken over. It was crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, I guess see it Beefs if you're a 49ers fan.
See it
I'm sure they all were scheduling out this game while they were at that Beefs that day. So
yeah, I'm glad
we could see them do a lot.
Yeah, they are sad. But yeah, do we want to start? I guess we already kind of talked about Baker Mayfield. But I mean, just you have to give Baker so many props. I think we should start with him. I mean, Will, I'll ask you this question. What's the most impressive part about Baker Mayfield in 2025?
I think it's just the fact that he's been able to make plays with so many injuries on the offensive side of the ball. And you even look at this game, and it wasn't great for him to start. Missed a couple big throws to Mika Ibuka, and he goes down, and then all of a sudden you're making plays with Tez Johnson, Cameron Johnson. You're fighting Cade Otton. It really doesn't matter what you can throw at Baker Mayfield. He'll handle the adversity, and we've seen that throughout this entire season, from the last-second comebacks to, again, all the injuries. It doesn't matter what you throw at him. He's going to handle it, and he's going to have the upper hand.
Yeah, and I mean, the big plays are, very, very impressive. Baker Mayfield now has 3 40-plus yard touchdown passes in the 2025 season. That is the most in the NFL. And then, for me, I think I've been more impressed, the extraordinary plays, the scrambles, the deep throws, like those have been very, very impressive. But for me, I've almost been more impressed with Baker Mayfield doing the little things. Baker Mayfield this season only has 1 interception, 12 touchdowns. That's the second best touchdown to interception ratio in the league. And he's just really done a good job. Like there's multiple times, finding the check down, finding K-Dot. And I think the efficiency is what has really, really impressed me. I mean, 17 of 23 in this game. It's not like he's slinging and gunslinging the ball all the way around the field. He's efficient. He's smart. He's throwing the ball away. He's giving the Bucs a chance to win every single game, and that was not always the case. I mean, we saw similar situations for Baker Mayfield just this last season, where you're down Mike Evans, you're down Chris Godwin. Obviously, you didn't have a Mecca Ibuka, on the team last year, and you're throwing to Sterling Shepard, you're throwing to K-Dot, and you're throwing to Rachaad White, and he forced the issue in those games. He had costly turnovers. You think about that the Falcons game, the what was it? The Ravens game, some costly interceptions. Like those games, he was forcing the issue and he was not as efficient. And I think Baker Mayfield's ability to kind of give the Bucs a chance and keep the Bucs on schedule, I think like this is something that's underrated, but like that dude is working it, at the line of scrimmage in the pre-play. Like I think those little down-to-down things have been so impressive for me.
Yeah, I think you see, you brought up a great point there. Just kind of last year, there was times where they would face a little adversity. They would have stuff not go their way, and you'd see him kind of turn into that trigger-happy gunslinger, trying to make the big play and the highlight play, forcing balls that shouldn't be there. And he's completely erased that, and I think a lot of it has to do with his scrambling. When it's not there, he has the ability to use his legs and get out of the pocket and pick up, big first down. So, yeah, decision-making has been so much better this season.
And that's where he's most comfortable too. Like a part of you wants him to stay in the pocket, but like he kind of finds his next level when he's scrambling, when he's looking for that downfield play. So really, like I'd say more power to him. Like he's probably less likely to have a career-threatening injury outside of the pocket than inside of the pocket. So, I mean, Baker's got to bake.
I saw an impressive stat and saw it on Twitter, but Baker Mayfield this season, he has 9 first down conversions on third down runs, which is tied for the most in the NFL. Who do you guys think he's tied with amongst quarterbacks?
Josh Allen.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. And you got to think about Jalen Hurts' third down conversions are tush push. Baker Mayfield hasn't done a single tush push the entire season. They don't sneak Baker Mayfield. They haven't. So Baker Mayfield has as many conversions on third down with his legs as the dude who is tush push maxing, if you will. Impressive. I wrote down some other stats on Baker Mayfield. 1,539 passing yards, 4th most in the NFL, a 100.5 passer rating, 5th best in the NFL. Obviously, we've talked about this, but 4 game-winning drives, that is the most amongst quarterbacks in the NFL. The Bucs right now, they sit with the best record in the NFL. It's only them and the Indianapolis Colts
just
at
crazy,
5-1.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. They're the best team in the NFC right now by record. So really, really just, really impressed with this Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, he's your MVP. And they're really, what more does he have to prove this season? Just everything that's been thrown at him, he's still winning and he's still putting up numbers. So he's the MVP. I think you have three award winners on your team right now at this point in the season.
Yeah.
You have the head coach of the year, MVP, offensive rookie of the year.
I agree. I hope Emeka plays enough games to be offensive rookie of the year.
Please come back,
Yeah. And Todd Bowles, man, we can get him, but he is. He gets me fired up every Sunday. Really, and just the game. I think Joel was on this. I think that game manager coordinator that they hired has done a really good job. And I think Todd Bowles it's been very, very impressive.
I think a lot of that load's been alleviated by the game manager too. So now he can kind of find his zone.
I do want to ask you guys. So the Bucs had a moment in this game. It was not successful, but they go up 20-14. Or no, 20-13. I apologize. They're going to kick the extra point, go up 21-13. There's a roughing the passer call on a 49ers defender. They get half the distance. They go for 2 on the 1-yard line. What are your guys' thoughts on that decision?
Excellent.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
No harm.
I'll tell you what. The moment I saw that penalty called, I said, "Hey, take the half the distance, go for 2. I did not think the Bucs were going to do that. And I know one thing about me is I try to gauge decisions by how I felt during the decision and not use hindsight. I was all about that then, even though it didn't work out. I'm still all about
it was a no harm, no foul
Yeah.
play. It's like they're either going to be chasing the game by 2 scores now, or you're still up 7.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. And I think we should trickle on down to the rest of the offense. Will, who do you want to talk about on this offense?
I think it's got to be the Johnson duo, man. Just stepping up. We've seen Tez Johnson obviously get more reps and more targets, and he's just been making plays all over the field. Is just elite speed with his body frame. It's just pretty incredible, and that huge catch. And then Cam Johnson, man, talk about somebody who's really been just a special teamer. He's been your return specialist, and his first catch in the NFL goes for a touchdown. Guys stepping up when there's a lot of injuries. You have guys like that stepping up and making huge plays, and I think you have to give a lot of credit to not only Bulls, of course, for having this team locked in and with the next man up mentality, but also, again, Jason Light for building this roster where, it seems like we're so thin, but yet here we are still making plays on offense. A lot of credit to Grizzard the Wizard. That's my new catchphrase for him. Again, just going with what you have and making it work.
And I think, too, like I intended to say this when we're talking about Baker Mayfield, but again, he is definitely the force behind this team, and everybody's trying to play to the level of Baker Mayfield right now, and it's showing across the board on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you have to think and give so many props to Jason Light and this Bucs scouting team because, I mean, you have to think about this, who are you getting contributions from in this game? Tez Johnson, 7th round pick. Cameron Johnson, undrafted free agent. Sean Tucker, he was an undrafted free agent as well.
Please.
Offense, I mean, just phenomenal stuff. And then that obviously that doesn't even get into, some of the guys you've taken in the middle of the draft. Jacob Parrish in the 3rd round. Are you serious right now? I mean, what a dog. And just that ability to not waste any picks, not waste a day 3 pick, not waste, an undrafted, opportunity for a player. Like that is such a special ability by Jason Light in this front office. And I think I can't give him enough credit for just the amount of depth they've built with just the resources given to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shout out Rachaad White. White, man. He has been running like a man possessed this year. Like he has really just been so solid. And I mean, you look at the stat line, 17 carries, 65 yards, 3.8 yards per rush. That's solid. But the stat line, I don't really think does him justice for what he was doing. Picking up huge conversions. I mean, there was a play, I think it was 3rd down and 1, and the play is blown up and he completely cuts it back towards the other side of the field and picks up the 1st down. Just huge stuff. And I mean, the Bucs offensive line is banged up. The right side of the Bucs offensive line is not in a good spot right now. You got guard Luke Haggard, who has struggled and now was injured at the end of the game. Charlie Heck has struggled as well. The right side of the offensive line really is not producing much in the pass blocking or in the run blocking, and Rachaad White is still finding a way to find creases. He's patient. His run style is effective, and obviously he's filling in for Bucky Irving, and he did it very, very well. Just really impressed with Rachaad White this season.
Yeah, Joel and I talked about it last week after the win against Seattle, and really a lot of credit really goes to his character and his attitude where, like we said last week, he essentially lost his job to Bucky Irving. Could have had a bad attitude, could have been checked out, looking for a way out, but he's kept his head down, he's gone to work, and he's done all the little things, and he's really carried the rushing game and coming up with a bunch of big plays, very great pass blocking as well, so can't say enough good things about him.
And I was just thinking about it. I think he is playing his way into a handsome contract when he steps away. I imagine, I don't think you can keep 2 running backs under a contract like that on the same team. So wherever he goes to, I think they're going to pay him very, very well.
Yeah, there's plenty of teams in the NFL where he could be a starter on. It'd be fun to keep him, but again, hey, if he can go get a big payday,
he's going to get himself a bag. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes.
Yeah, I agree. I also like that the Bucs remembered Kate Otton's on their team. 80 reception yards against Seattle, 51 against the 49ers. I just like to see the tight ends get a little bit of love. I like to see the tight ends get a little love. Sterling Shepard, Unk still got it, 51 yards receiving. Very, very impressed with the next man up. That's what I'm thinking of. The next man up mentality from the Buccaneers offense, and they're going to need it because the injuries are not over for them.
No, they aren't. Before we get into the defense, I guess we can talk about it. I mean, you're definitely not going to have Igbokwe or Chris Godwin again this week. Todd Bowles already ruled both of them out. Mike Evans, there's a chance he can come back. I didn't see anything on if he practiced today. That was kind of the big highlight if he was supposed to practice today.
What happened?
Wednesday.
Greg Allman is off Twitter for the day.
Dude, he
for the
took
next
the day
2
off.
days.
And that really makes me upset, Greg.
Yeah, come on, Greg.
Greg, I know you're listening, man.
It's like, who's the spiritual successor like that? He should just be like, hey, I'm out for the next couple of days. Look to this guy.
Well, there is a pretty big media group out there, but
No Peter report for you?
no.
But I mean, yeah, and I think since the Monday night game, I think Thursday is probably the biggest practice day.
Well, he did say Wednesday. That was when they expected him to practice.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did or not today.
Again, if they expect him to practice, I assume he did. It makes it. It seems like he will play on Monday, but I think he's the only one because Bucky has also been ruled out.
Bucky's been ruled out too. Yeah, I mean with Igbokwe, I guess the MRI said that the hamstring injury wasn't as bad as Evans, but still, I mean, and this comes from experience. I dealt with a handful of hamstring injuries in college, and it's like the worst injury, dude, because you just you can walk just fine, everything feels fine, but as soon as you try to run on it, it's nearly impossible. So that was expected. He's going to be out. I'd say I don't know how you can come back at like 2 week minimum. I feel like is pretty standard for a hamstring. I don't know how you can come back earlier than that. So I don't expect him. What, next week is the Saints?
And you don't really
expect them either.
All of those guys, except for Mike Evans, who can come back this week. I don't expect the Bucs to bring back Bucky Irving or to bring back Chris Godwin or Emeka Igbokwe for the Saints game. No disrespect. We'll get into that preview. I mean, a little disrespect, but I mean, a Saints game before your bye week, so you really can kind of. Again, it's the NFL. Anything can happen. But if you're the Bucs, you feel pretty good. At the minimum, you're going to be going into your bye week 6-2. 7-1 would be great, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But you're going to feel like you're going into your bye week 6-2, and if you can hold those guys out and have them for the outtake of the bye week, where you have Bills, Patriots, and Rams coming out of the bye week.
Well, it's Patriots first, which now that seems like it could be a tough game.
No, for sure. Those are 3 tough games out of the bye week. So if you can go in the bye week 6-2 and hopefully get healthy out of the bye week, I think that would really be a huge boost for this Buccaneers offense. I think that's the likely outcome. I don't really see anyone other than Mike Evans coming back before the bye week. Mm-hmm. Defense. Man.
Yeah. Defense, man. Todd Bowles masterclass once again. You look at just what they were able to do against this Kyle Shanahan offense. You know, that system, that Mike Shanahan tree with you got McVay, LaFleur, Shanahan, McDaniel. I mean, all prolific offenses. And the Bucs were able to shut him down. And this is somebody that Bowles especially in this Bucs team, they've played each other a bunch the past couple of years, and they haven't been able to shut him down. And you only allow 3 points in the second half. 3 points in the second half. You force Mac Jones, who's been playing pretty phenomenal, to throw 2 interceptions. You sack him 6 times, the highest this season for the Bucs defense, and you hit him 10 times on top of that. Maybe the dead body came into play for Mac Jones.
What?
He saw a dead body before the Rams game.
I didn't
last
know.
Thursday.
I didn't know you were referencing, bro.
I saw a tweet that he saw a dead body before the Rams game.
Oh,
and I don't know where, like outside the hotel. I don't know. But maybe that was affecting him.
Los Angeles, man, you never know, or San Francisco. Either one of those places, you don't know what you're going to see on the streets.
I think I saw one outside of Progressive Field one time.
Anyways,
Cleveland?
I'm not sure.
I thought that was such a nice Midwest
Cleveland's
city.
low key, like, I think dangerous.
There's nice areas and there's really bad areas,
Yeah.
and the really bad areas right outside Progressive Field.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Yeah, I would like to say, 6 sacks, season high. Sorry, I got to get these boys back on track. Yaya Diaby, 2 sacks on the night. I mean, how many quarterback hurries did this guy have? Sorry, I should have had this pulled up, chat. Sorry. I think my eyes don't work. 2 quarterback hurries, 2 sacks. Really, really impressed with him. Him and Reddick. I think there's been a lot of discussion on the Bucs edge room and trading for another edge rusher, and I don't really get it. I don't. I think Yaya Diaby and Hassan Reddick have been really, really good. Obviously, Reddick kind of got banged up, and you kind of hope for a little bit more production out of Chris Braswell and Anthony Nelson. But backing them up, I can agree with that, and depth won't hurt. But as for getting on their starting edge, I don't think that should be really on the top of their list of things they need to get. But I was really impressed with Yaya Diaby. I mean, don't make a scene. It's Jamel Dean, man. Jamel Dean. I mean, legacy game for Jamel Dean. He gets an interception, gets his first career sack, and a forced fumble. And I just want to read you guys, Jamel Dean's, stats. He right now he has on the season a 90.1 PFF grade. If you guys don't know what PFF is, it's Pro Football Focus. The grade is out of 100. An average to good, starting level player is usually in the 70s. A 90 PFF grade on the season is just phenomenal. He has only allowed 9 receptions on 21 targets. 42.9% of the time that the quarterback throws the ball to his man, they're catching it. That is a very, very jarring and impressive number. 2 interceptions ties his career high. He already has it in 6 games. He has been just phenomenal. Can't say enough. And I'll tell you what, people were out on Jamel Dean. And I told you during training camp, Will was here, Joel was here. They remember. I told you, I still believe in Jamel Dean. He's still a good cornerback. And like it or not, Colby knows ball. And you should listen to me. And you should listen to Will and Joel too. But I'm just saying, we know ball, okay? We know ball.
Yeah, I think Jamel Dean is your defensive player of the game for the Bucs. He was also the NFC Defensive Player of the Week
on his birthday.
Yeah, on his birthday. First career sack, just making a bunch of plays. And that, honestly, his interception was so clutch because that was kind of the 49ers' last real push in that game to kind of make it close to kind of get back in it. And he comes up with a huge interception. So, yeah, what a great season. He's having a contract year for him. So he's playing pretty good, contract year. But, it helps out this team. And hopefully he can keep it up the rest of the year.
Kendall Vildor gets the interception.
Keep your feet, son. Come on. What are we doing?
He says on Twitter that he needs some new spikes. That's what he says.
He might. That was an awesome interception to really open up the game. But again, we talked about it earlier. Just guys stepping up. Kendall Vildor stepping up, making plays. You look at Elijah Roberts on the defensive line. C.J. Brewer getting a sack. I mean, these guys are people who've been thrust in because of all the injuries this team has faced, and they're making plays. They're making an impact. Jacob Parrish, too. He made the PFF NFL Rookie Team of the Week, 82 run grade and 82 pass grade. I mean, he can do it in both facets of the game. So, yeah, you got guys stepping up like this. It's just so fun to watch.
Yeah, and I would actually make the case that I'm going to say something crazy. I think Jacob Parrish has been the best rookie on the Buccaneers. I know Emeka Ibuka has been tearing it up. I know he has the flashy numbers. He's the receiver. He gets the stats. But Jacob Parrish might be the best player on the defense so far in his rookie season. He has been that good. Really been one of the highest graded Buccaneers in each game, according to PFF, making huge plays in the running game. A huge breakup on 3rd down in this game in the red zone to force the 49ers to 3 points. Like, really, really just solid stuff from him. Been so impressed with him throughout the year. And then, like you mentioned it, Elijah Roberts. I mean, another thing that I'm going to say, I told you guys Elijah Roberts was going to be nasty. Second half in this game, if I'm not mistaken. He's really, been thrust into action with the injury to Kalijah Kancey, and he's provided a really good amount of pass rush. So got to shout out him. The defense, this is really, I think this is kind of what Todd Bowles wants in a defense, is what they have now. They might allow the ball to get moved sometimes. They might allow some big plays from time to time, but they have playmakers on the defense. They make plays, and they do things that disrupt drive, whether that is a tackle for loss, which the Bucs lead the NFL in tackles for loss this season with 38. Again, drive changers. You get a tackle for loss, 2nd and 12 is a lot different than 2nd and 7. That's just the nature of it. Then you have, the ability to create sacks, whether it is with improved edge rushers, whether it is with Vita Vea, who just seems to be wreaking havoc this season. Sometimes wreaking havoc on his own team by running into opposing team's punter. Todd Bowles seemed to deal with that. He was getting a little coy in the press conference about that. But yeah, playmakers, just able to sack the quarterback, able to force turnovers, 2 interceptions in this game. I think it's 6 turnovers forced in the last 4 games after not having a turnover in the first 2. So they're doing a good job of forcing turnovers, and they just have an ability to disrupt drives, which is what you need in the NFL because, offenses are good, teams can move the ball. Defenses that win are defenses that are able to disrupt drives, not the ones that are, necessarily like forcing 3 and outs every drive because that's just not feasible.
Yeah, this defense is just working perfectly. And again, like you said, this is what Todd Bowles wants in a defense. But you just look at so many things. I think timing the blitzes have been perfect. Yeah. Just getting pressures at the right moment. And yeah, you said coming up with big plays, and we've seen it. They can give up some points. They struggle from times, but when you need a play, when the game's on the line, they've come up clutch. We saw it with the Levante David interception, then the Jamel Dean interception. They just come up with huge plays. 2 of the 6 sacks they had, 2 were drive enders. So that's something big coming up with that, like you said, the big play. And then 2, I think in the first half, let the 49ers were moving the ball on them, but they were forcing field goal attempts, forced 4 field goal attempts instead of giving up touchdowns. So just really good complementary football and the great defense from Bowles.
Yeah, and this was actually, I think, the first game that the Buccaneers really did what they wanted to do in the red zone. I want to pull this up here because the Buccaneers' red zone defense has not been good this season, but the 49ers, had to settle for a field goal. They were 1 for 2 in the red zone, but there was I want to say it was like 8 or 9 straight red zone appearances for Bucs opponents where they scored a touchdown early on in the season.
Yeah, I want to say
that Philadelphia game-ish, or maybe leading into the Seattle game. But whatever it was, the Bucs have not been great in the red zone.
Well, they're 28th in the NFL.
There you go. They're 28th in the NFL. So I think that's one of the things we noticed this last year, where I think they were top 5 to 10 in the red zone. Obviously when they were healthy, for sure, their red zone defense. Like look back at that, Detroit game last year, the Philadelphia, the Washington game. Like the red zone defense was really good. And I think as the Buccaneers defense gets healthier and more comfortable, I think that red zone defense will continue to get better and better. Are we ready to move on to next week?
Yeah, let's talk about the keys to the game.
Did McLaughlin miss a kick in this game?
He did.
Oh,
Yep.
Stop that, bro. Stop the nonsense. Let's go back
to
to
it was an important one because I think we would have been up maybe if not 2 scores.
I think we would have put up at
comfortably.
11. Yeah. And then he made the next one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think I texted it, but I said the guillotine was the only option if he missed that second kick. Because come on, man, what are we doing? It's just every week.
He'd been all right for like maybe 2 weeks up to that point.
I think he had made 7 field goals in a row before that miss.
Yeah, but what was that miss? I mean, it was
40 something. It was not one you should miss. I'm not.
If he goes for like big. I mean, what did he hit? Was it a 60-yarder?
65.
Yeah, that massive
65.
One, yeah.
Yeah, 65. If you attempt those, 50, 58 plus, and he misses, oh well. But anything under 45, you have to be automatic.
I agree.
Can't wait for Grammatica, man. Can't wait for him to be a Buck.
I just wish it was like the minor leagues. Just call him up.
That'd be awesome.
Nico Grammatica has been recalled from AAA Temple Terrace.
I mean, give it like 15 years, and it might be more like that.
Yeah, I think the 3 years is going to end soon. Because you have to play 3 years in college.
I don't think that's going away.
I think they'll push it down to 2.
Maybe.
Like I think they won't count like with the red shirt year. I think they'll get rid of that. Like you'll just have to go 2.
It's possible. All right. Buccaneers and Lions. Monday Night Football. The Buccaneers face off. 5-1 Buccaneers, 4-2 Lions. And the Lions come off a loss. They got handled by the Kansas City Chiefs.
They did. They were dominated.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. The Bucs have seen the 49ers 3 times in the last 2 years. 1-2 against them. Obviously losing in the playoffs to them in 2023. Beat them last year early on in the season. But yeah, I don't know. Will, what's your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I think you look at the game last year. It was pretty low scoring. One of the most dominating performances we've seen from a Bucs defense, only allowing them to 16 points. I don't think we're going to see that again this year. But I think this game is really going to be won in the trenches. I think you have to shut down this Lions rushing attack. I think that's going to be the biggest key for the defense. And especially on first downs, the Lions run the ball 57% of the time on first down, and you have to eliminate big plays. They have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery who can gash you, and it really opens up that Lions playbook. They can do a lot more things, when it's second and manageable, third and manageable, and it really puts you on the hook, especially with all the weapons that they have. So you really have to win on first down. I think offensively, I'm not too worried other than the offensive line and Charlie Heck. He struggled in the pass game, and we looked at what happened with School last year. Aiden Hutchinson dominated, and Detroit, once again, is one of the best teams rushing the passer. They are 4th in the NFL with sacks per pass play at a rate of 10.11%, and they have averaged 3 sacks a game. So I don't want to see a repeat of last year. Charlie Heck, you got to lock it down. Give him some help. Maybe that means you have Cade Otton kind of chipping Hutchinson as he comes off the edge, or Payne Durham. Just give Heck some help, because I don't want to see another big day from him. That's one of my keys.
Yeah, and I also think that while Justin School did not have a great day in that game against Aiden Hutchinson, like no doubt about it, a lot of those sacks, if you can remember last year, was kind of a product of some busted protection schemes and some sliding of the wrong way and some miscommunications up front. So definitely that's an important thing. Obviously, this is going to be a night game on the road. Detroit is an indoor stadium. It gets pretty loud in there. So communication up front kind of goes along with the actual play of the offensive line. Obviously these guys, I guess it might be another new offensive line combination if Luke Haggard is out. And
might see Mike Jordan back.
Yes, hopefully, because he was playing really well. He's been in practice, so that would be, I would enjoy that, because Haggard has definitely struggled. But
Haggard the Hazard.
You have some good nicknames today, bro. You're on fire with the nicknames. I think that, for me, I think on defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think the key to this is third down defense. The Buccaneers' third down defense, this season has been 15th in the NFL, 39.19% opponents third down conversion rate. That's smack dab in the middle. But if you can recall to the last 3 Lions games, especially the 2 games in 2023, third down conversions were a huge problem. Just a huge problem for the Buccaneers defense. The Lions were able to sustain long touchdown drives and kind of beat the Bucs to death with a million paper cuts. So I think third down defense and causing those big plays is kind of what led them to win in the game last year, where they were able to cause the the interceptions, get off the field, some sacks. They were able to make some huge plays in key downs on third down. And I think that's obviously the key for most games, but for this team, a team that lives on playing on schedule. Jared Goff is a great quarterback when things are on schedule. But, when things get off schedule with some pressure, when it's third and long, when stuff like that happens, Jared Goff does not have the ability of a Lamar Jackson or a Patrick Mahomes. I would say, again, Jared Goff is a better player, don't get me wrong, but Jared Goff is very similar to Mac Jones in that area where, when Mac Jones was on schedule, when he was on time, when he had protection, Mac Jones was making a lot of really, really good throws, and that's how Jared Goff goes. He knows where to get the ball to. He has good weapons. Obviously, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta, it's a array of really, really good weapons, just like along with the running backs that we'll mention. Getting the Lions off schedule will be a key for the Buccaneers defense, and I think that comes with you got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
I was going to say, last week against the Chiefs, you definitely saw that for Jared Goff. Like, for a lot of the game, he looked not much better than anybody else. So if we can do that early on again, I say it a lot, keep the fans out of the game, silence the crowd, take the Lions out of the game a little bit, get a couple sacks maybe in the first quarter, you're going to have a 4A player in Jared Goff, and I think you could win the game. I think it's going to be, at that point, it'll be pretty low scoring, but I do think if you can keep the Lions offense out of rhythm, you got a pretty good chance of winning this game. Because with that, you're going to take the fans out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Jared Goff. I think he's a solid quarterback, but there is a lot of questions his whole career about reading a defense and handling pressure, and I think you have to get pressure on because he will make mistakes. He will turn the ball over, and I think you can confuse him pretty easily, and you did with Mac Jones. We saw them dropping 8 back in coverage and then rushing 8. Just throwing him off his game is so important, and he will make the mistakes, but you have to get pressure on him. He has one of the quickest releases in the NFL too, and that's like you mentioned, getting to those third and longs to where you know what's coming. When they have success running the ball on first and second down and make it third and short or whatever, the playbook opens up so much more for them, and that's how they're successful.
Yeah, and I think offensively for the Buccaneers, I think you mentioned it, and I will reiterate, protecting Baker Mayfield is the most important thing, because if Baker Mayfield is upright, I think this Buccaneers offense, even without, Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irving, I think they will be able to move the ball at will. The Lions don't really have a great defense in general. They have some secondary injuries. Terrion Arnold is out, Avonte Maddox is out, and Brian Branch is suspended for this game. So all those
Slapping Juju.
Did you see the other angle of it? When Juju gave him a cheap blindside block.
That's why he slapped him at the end.
Yes. And the refs didn't.
I was kind of wondering why
that was
happened.
hockey-esque. That was pretty fun.
Yeah. No, Juju totally. He had it coming. Is all I'll say. But yeah, the Lions are thin in the secondary. The Chiefs were able to kind of move the ball at will and throw the ball downfield. I mean, shoot, we got Travis Kelce looking like it's 2020, 2021 Travis Kelce a little bit in that game. So I think the Buccaneers will be able to exploit the middle of the field, downfield, if they give Baker Mayfield time, and that really is the key. Baker, again, I think the Buccaneers really could have run away with the game against the Lions last year in Detroit if they were able to just keep Baker Mayfield upright. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson totally, wrecked that game, wrecked drives. And I think that, if you keep Baker Mayfield upright, I think the Bucs have a great chance of winning this game.
Yeah, well, you mentioned all the injuries, and that's why I said I wasn't too worried about the Bucs offense as much. Just because we've seen them play against good defenses with limited pieces, with all the injuries, and they're still been able to move the ball at will. And you look at Robert Saleh and the good defense the 49ers have, and the Bucs are able to
be fair with the 49ers defense, they've
had some injuries, but still, that's a good defense, a good defensive coordinator. But I mean, even with the injuries, it gets even worse. You also got some of their backup guys like Ennis Rackenstraw. He's on IR, and then Avonte Maddox.
Yeah.
With a hamstring injury, he probably won't play either. So you're going to see Amik Robertson and Rock Ya-Sin. I forgot about that guy. So as much as the Bucs are banged up at receiver, so are the Lions in the secondary. So that could be something, again, could see a big day for Baker in the passing game, which we've seen all season.
Yeah, and I think that comes with, players stepping up. I think I look to see Tez Johnson have another big game, work in the middle of the field, some speed, some inexperienced defensive backs. I think that Tez Johnson's in for a big game. I think Cade Otton. I think Rachaad White has had some big catches against the Lions out of the backfield. So I think that the Buccaneers will be able to move the ball at will. as long as they keep Baker upright. That is the biggest key to this game, and I think they'll be able to do it. And then another thing is you're on the road. You are in hostile territory. It's a night game against a good team. You can't have special teams blunders. You just can't. The last Monday Night Football game, the crowd noise gets you. You get a blocked punt, and the blocked punt kind of derails you against the Lions. In the last two games, other than that missed kick at the end of the game, you haven't had, huge special teams blunders against the Seahawks, against the 49ers, and you've beaten two really, really good opponents. So on the road, if you have a special teams blunder against this team, I can almost guarantee that it will be a loss.
McLaughlin missed a big field goal in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I'm more saying, like, a missed kick is a missed kick. Like, obviously, a clutch missed kick is kind of a backbreaker, but any type of block kick in this game, it's not going to be good.
Mm.
Are we ready to predict?
Yeah.
I'll start.
It's not good.
I have picked against the Bucs a couple times this year. I wasn't on the show last week. I would have picked the Bucs, I promise. But 2 weeks ago, I picked the Seahawks to beat the Bucs. I almost was right, but I was happy to be wrong. And just with the banged up nature of the Bucs, I think that nothing can stop them. So I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think the Bucs will win this one. I think it'll be close. I think that the Lions' injuries are just as bad. I think the Lions are just not the same team without their coordinators that they were last year. I don't think the offensive line is the same caliber. And I think they've obviously had some good games. They beat up on some lackluster opponents or some opponents that they kind of own. Looking at you, Chicago Bears. But I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they beat them last year. I think Baker Mayfield's a far better quarterback than Jared Goff. Give me Bucs. Give me Bucs. I'm going to say the Bucs win this one 31-24.
You've almost talked me off the cliff. But last week I said that they would beat the 49ers, and they did. But then I hinted that I was probably going to pick the Bucs to lose this game. And I think it's just, again, like, I know the monkey's off the primetime monkeys off our backs, but I think he's ready to jump back on. I think he's behind us, getting geared up. I think this is probably the week where the Bucs injuries finally begin to veer their ugly head, and I know the Lions have them as well, but I'll just pick Lions due to the fact that this is a home game, and I think they probably will jump out pretty quick, and the home crowd's going to be ferocious. So
like
I will
a lion.
Yeah,
ferocious lion.
Like a lion. So I'll pick the Lions to win this one.
Well, you know me. I ride with the home teams.
He rides at
all
dawn.
the time. There's just one thing, when I look at this game, there's just one thing that sticks out to me when I'm deciding who's going to win this game, and that is, who is Baker Mayfield? That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, what if they're down 2 scores at the end of the game?
He'll find a way.
Right.
This guy will find a way. This team is special right now. It really just seems like they're taking all the punches. They're like Rocky Balboa against Apollo Creed. He takes the punches, but he keeps getting back up. The rounds keep going, and he's still there. He's still fighting. And that's what this Bucs team is. They're fighters. They're gritty. They will not quit. And this Lions team, the loss of the coordinators has definitely affected them. They are not the same team we've seen from the past couple of years. They're not the juggernaut we've seen. This team has struggled. You can see even a Chiefs team that I would say also has started to fall off, dominated them. Mm-hmm. They completely dominated them on offense, and you think Baker Mayfield can't do that? Think Baker Mayfield can't dominate this Lions defense? He sure as heck can. And the Bucs are going to win this 27-21. It'll probably once again go down to the wire. It's going to be close, maybe even overtime. Maybe it's 27-21 overtime touchdown to win. To Sterling Shepard in the back of the end zone. Bucs going right to left on your TV screen. But they're going to win. The Bucs are going to win. They're going to go into the bye week 7-1. Can you believe it? 7-1. Book it. Bucs are winning.
Wasn't it nice to not have to win on the final drive on Sunday? I enjoyed it.
It was very nice.
I was
nice.
like,
it's a good change of pace.
It was
so
nice.
I could get used to this.
So yeah, Monday Night Football, 7 p.m. I think we'll have Joe Buck and Troy Aikman on the call again. I know they got 2 Monday night games, but I think there's not possible for it to be a better game than our game. So yeah,
they're gonna be at that one.
they're gonna be at that one. Joe Buck kind of likes the Bucs.
I think he does.
I think he does. So yeah, tune into your Buccaneers. If you're on YouTube or on Spotify, whatever, you can comment on both. Comment your score prediction down below. Who do you guys got? What's the score? What are you guys thinking? We want to hear your thoughts, so let us know in the comments down below. And I was trying to think of a transition to Lightning that was clever, but I have nothing. Will, it's Bolt season, baby.
It is Bolt season. So excited to get the Tampa Bay Lightning back at Benchmark Arena. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
It's gonna take me a couple of years for that one.
But yeah, they started the season. We have 4 games to cover here, and it hasn't been that great. I can't lie to you. It has been tough.
They haven't started out quick the last couple of years, though. Then again, we keep losing the playoffs. So
Yeah,
it's not a good sign.
I know it's. I mean,
they haven't started quick since they were winning.
They were in the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, but I mean, what's kind of crazy about this is, we've, as early as it is in the season, there's 80 plus games that you're going to play in a season. We've never seen a Tampa Bay Lightning team under John Cooper start out a season 0-2.
Wow,
That's crazy.
Never seen it, and this is the first season in his tenure that they've started 0-2. So, you talk about early season, this and that. You want to get hot in January, but you want to start off strong. And I think the biggest thing is that, a lot of the stuff we saw from last year that we didn't like is creeping back in. We're kind of seeing the same sloppy play from the Lightning, but we'll just go game by game here. I got notes, and everybody feel free to jump in with any thoughts. But we got game 1 at home versus the Ottawa Senators, and you lose 5-4. But I think the worst thing is you started this game going up 3-0. Going up 3-0 with some huge goals. Power play looked perfect right off the bat, and I even called it last week. Bjorkstrand on the power play. I said he has to step up, and he does. And then, it just kind of unraveled from there in the second period. Your forecheck just totally disappeared, and the play in the neutral zone was absolutely terrible. Just Ottawa could go up and down the ice at will. Had a bunch of breakaways, a lot of 2-on-1s, and it started to catch the Lightning a little bit because I think they were getting beat in the neutral zone so much. So you had like McDonough coming up trying to make a diving defensive play, and it led to a breakaway opportunity. But just terrible play in the second period, and it really all went downhill from there. Darren Radish, man, Swiss cheese defense.
But so is Darren Radish not paired with Lilberg? Is that not his pairing right now? You know who else was paired with Lilberg? Perbix. And Perbix had the same problem. So I'm starting to think it might be Lilberg's fault. And I think these young defensemen have just really not developed like we've needed them to. And I think that, like you said, the sloppiness, the missing assignments, that has reared its early head it's reared its ugly head early on in the season. That's how you say words, Colby. And I think that that's really going to be the defining thing of this season is, can we develop defensemen behind Ryan McDonough, behind Victor Hedman, and behind, J.J. Moser was suspended. He was suspended for that, it was that fight in the preseason game?
Yeah. For some reason, the Lightning got every single...
Well, you know why it is.
They got the books thrown at them.
The Panthers...
America's sweetheart.
No, there's a family connection between the Panthers.
You're right.
The dad of the Panthers president.
I'm getting tired of that. It's like I don't hear that much from like anybody.
But you know what? Again, you lose the game, whatever. This is hockey. We are men. Talk about Curtis Douglas, 6'8", one of the tallest players in NHL history, coming out swinging, first shift in the NHL, and just beating the tar out of people.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
We've been needing that for a couple of years.
Yes.
That was good to see.
Yes, it's at least at the very minimum. If the Panthers get frisky in the first round, we got an enforcer that we can just throw in and
he's going to be throwing the first punches. It's like don't even try, Panthers.
Yeah. That's what I took most from that game. Sorry, sue me.
We talked a lot about a lot of these guys last week. Jack Finley, Curtis Douglas, Crozier, a lot of prospects that have made the NHL roster to start the year and have gotten some playing time. Have done some good things, so you like to see that, especially with all the picks they trade away and stuff with Isaac Howard. So it's good to see guys like that step up. Just another thing on Radish, man. A pretty awful turnover in the neutral zone to give up the lead there, center ice. Yeah, okay, we can blame Lilberg, but Radish really, just watching the film, man, Radish really got me fired up.
But I mean, like, our coaching staff hasn't really developed much defensive players. Like Sergachev was a bit of a fail.
They made a coaching overhaul. On
the defensive side?
They didn't make the overhaul. Their defensive coach is now the head coach of the Blackhawks.
Okay, so things could change.
Things could change.
Because it's been bleak as far as defense goes since the development of Hedman.
A lot of people have been. He was one of the Lightning's assistant coaches starting in 2022, which is like the moment the decline happened.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people are hoping that the coaching staff will
that
be
would
better
be good.
equipped this year.
Yeah, but that's all I have.
Jeff Blashill is his name.
That's all I have on game 1.
Game 2, baby, let's go.
Game 2.
0-2 at Amalie. That is ridiculous.
We're in the black alternates as well. And it's kind of a flip, starting off hot in game 1, kind of letting off the gas and just playing poorly. This game, you just start off terrible. You start off terrible instead.
Horrible.
Again, terrible defense to start. A bunch of turnovers in the neutral zone. It's 3-0 before you know it. Kind of one was unlucky. One was a ricochet off the post into Vazzy, but he didn't even see it. 4 penalties committed. They did kill all of them, but still, you just couldn't get your offense going. You only finished with 2 shots in the first period. 2 total shots in the first period. Absolutely terrible, and it wasn't even that great. I mean, they finished with 13 shots on goal for the entire game. They kind of turned it around a little bit in the second period. Yanni Gord scored. McDonough had a goal, and it was 3-2. And even Hagel had one that hit the post. Geeky had a pretty good scoring opportunity. But once again, you play so bad in the first period, and we've seen that last year where they play bad, and then they're clawing, they're fighting all the way to come back, and then it doesn't matter because you just played so poorly. It just wasn't enough in this game either, and you just couldn't. I think probably the key moment in that game was Lightning on the power play early in the third. Could have been a tie game, but instead Cooch with a terrible turnover, and it was 4-2 Devils like that, and that really sealed it. We did see a lineup change this game. Jack Finley made a season debut. Curtis Douglas was kind of in and out of the lineup, and then Max Crozier played with Hedman, and Radish was paired with Lilberg for this game. So it wasn't the first one. That was the pairing for the second game. We brought it up. Didn't really help, though, because they played pretty terrible still. But, yeah, that's all I have.
Slow starts are debilitating. I don't know what I'm saying. But, yeah. Down 3-0 out of the first period, you're not going to win a lot of games like that. That's just to put yourself in a hole in this game and in this season. Two losses in a row to start the season is pretty rough. And it's just not a good sign for a team trying to flip the switch and really kind of put it all together for one last ride, if you will. Like it's just you want to see a faster start. You really do.
Yeah, you have to, and I think we'll transition to the next game against Boston.
They stopped the bleeding.
They got
Boston stinks though. Like
Boston.
They hadn't lost going into this game.
That's true.
Yeah, but they're a team full of misfits, man. Like it's just a bunch of different.
mean, that's usually the team that wins the Stanley Cup.
I don't know. Honest. Bunch of bad misfits like Tanner Janot. Junas Corpusalo, I like him in that, but again, Casey Middlestad. I mean, these are all like kind of mid guys. Again, we have Janot. He's not going to do anything for you. He's just waste.
I mean, so
on the ice.
My question for this game is Jonas Johansson the starting goalie? Is that what we need to do? I mean, he's got the only win. I'm joking, but Vazzy has struggled early on in the season. A sub 900 save percentage. I will say. He missed some time in training camp, missed some time in preseason. So I think he gets about a couple weeks to kind of shake off the rust before I have serious concerns.
Yeah, it's early. It's early, but it definitely he's looked a little lost.
He's not the guy he once was. Like I'd say, it's probably 2, 3.
He was
two,
good last
3.
year. His last season was one of his best since I think 2021 or 2020. So like he had a couple rough outings against the Panthers in the playoffs, but he was a lot better last year.
I think I mean this might just be from just glancing at it with my eyes, but I think the clutch might be gone.
Well, I mean, he made some big saves. It just again, I think again, it's just really been the Lightning's defense has been terrible. I mean, he still had to make some big saves.
Right, that's what it is.
Like the fact that it was still a close game with Ottawa was pretty impressive because again, just a defensive collapse in the second period. Devils again could do whatever they want on offense to start that game and gave up 3, but you're still in it. You still have a chance, and he did okay for the rest of the game. So yeah, it's way too early to tell, but yeah, some of them he did look lost. I will admit he did look lost, not like the same Vazzy, just not seeing the puck very well. It was pretty obvious against the Devils. But moving on to this Boston game, call us Tony two goals. Anthony Cirelli game, 2 goals in the first period.
I thought he was going to get a hat trick, man. That early in the game, I was like, "There's no way he doesn't get a hat trick."
Well, man, if they could have gotten an empty netter, that was pretty.
Yeah,
we are the worst empty net team in the creation of hockey.
Yeah, but they found a way to win. I think that's a big thing, finding a way to win. Somebody really impressed me was Pontus Holmberg, man.
Yeah.
The spinorama totally deking out Korpisalo there and spinning around and finding Gord for the goal. That was awesome.
Gross.
Yeah, that was awesome. Then he scores a goal on his own little tap in, little put back. So he played phenomenal. Again, though, it wasn't the prettiest win, but I think there's stuff you could take away. I think the forecheck was obviously better, and really keeping the puck in Boston's zone, really putting pressure on them. Think attacking the net a little bit more. I mean, the fans were booing against the game against the Devils just because it kind of seemed like the Lightning were forcing too many extra passes, starting to frustrate them. Radish ends up scoring a goal like 30 seconds after they said that.
How does Phil Esposito say it? They're too cute, playing cute.
Yeah, they're playing too cute, but I think this game. I wasn't talking.
Oh wow, Siri, come on!
You ain't
Always
part of this conversation.
I'm sorry for my Siri guys.
It's all right.
Embarrassing. Gonna have a talk after this. No, you're putting more shots on net, and that's how you create opportunities with the rebound for Holmberg. So I thought that was pretty important. But again, the Bruins put up a fight. I thought the defense once again didn't do pretty well. Chernak with a pretty terrible turnover to make it 4-2, and Cooper was pissed. He was pissed. There was definitely some F-bombs dropped. From what I could tell reading lips, he said stop bleeping going or doing. I don't know what he was talking about. He was yelling at Chernak, so he was pretty upset about that, but just sloppy play. And all of a sudden it's 4-3, but your defense did just enough in the third period, and your offense, again, putting enough pressure on Korpisalo and the Bruins defense to hold on to a 4-3 victory. And then Cirelli, too, didn't get an empty netter, didn't get that hat trick, but 2 huge face-off wins there in the last 30 seconds to give Lightning control of the puck and prevent the Bruins from coming back in that game. So.
Yeah, because if they had like 5, I think if the Bruins had like 5 more minutes, they'd have tied it. So it was like, thank you that it's over.
19 for 60 on face-offs.
Woohoo, man.
The Lightning?
It was rough.
Sheesh.
You knew they were going to lose. Like they only won those last 2, like you're saying.
Oh my lord, that's crazy.
Any thoughts on that game?
Oh, okay, actually, yeah. Afternoon hockey. Are we on a
1
Monday?
p.m.
What the
on a
heck?
Monday.
It's Columbus Day, man.
What does Columbus Day have?
You don't like Christopher Columbus, man?
Christopher Columbus was a saint. In our
So
family.
from what I understand, it's Columbus Day is much more important in like the Northeast than it is here.
Interesting.
Like we don't give two craps about it. but
Interesting.
they're-
all the
they're-
Italians.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
The Italians love
I
Christopher
think the
Columbus.
Italians love him and the Spaniards love him. So it's like
Okay, that
between
makes
the-
sense.
between the two. You
But
know?
that's I don't know. I was shocked. I was like, "What? This game's going on right now? How
I,
did that
I,
work?"
I lucked out because I like kind of forgot about it, but then like I remembered like the second it came on, I was like, oh, let me get that on.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. But I guess we'll wrap it up here with the loss. Another loss,
at least it was
overtime loss.
overtime,
You
yeah.
pick up a point. At least we're historically have not played well in the nation's capital, but you come away with a point, and I guess that's pretty much it.
We held Ovechkin off the board. That's a
They
win.
did.
Well, so correct me if I'm wrong, but the Lightning were up 2-0 in this game, and they lose 3-2.
2-1.
They had the lead twice and
Okay.
lost it twice. They were up 1-0. Then the Capitals tie it.
Okay, okay.
Then they're
Never
up
mind.
2-1.
Point is null, then never mind.
Yeah, I mean, they played a pretty solid game for the most part. Pretty good at scoring chances. Gensel gets his first goal of the season.
Love Jake Gensel.
But again,
Gritty.
yeah, love him. What a huge signing that was. But I think the problem is that you start off pretty well, but then you give up a late goal in that first period for them to tie it up.
Have we seen the Lightning play 3 good periods of hockey yet? No, we have not seen them play 3
No,
good periods.
definitely
of
have
hockey
not.
yet.
Definitely
yeah,
have
so looking for a full game, boys. Again, the spurts have got to stop. There has to be a full 3 periods played to get the mojo back.
Sorry, it wasn't until the second period that they tied up. So they were 1-0 going in the first. And the second period was a slugfest in this game. A lot of great opportunities from both teams. I think you have to give some credit to Logan Thompson. He was staying on his head, and then Vasi making some huge saves too. But yeah, eventually the Capitals finally break free, make it 1-1. And just not being able to build on your momentum either. As soon as the Lightning score on the power play with point, the Capitals score 3 minutes later. It's 2-2. And we saw power play success in the first game. That was their first power play goal since then. We're struggling against Boston and the Devils, so they finally break through again. But it didn't matter. 3 minutes later, then overtime, disgusting. Just no control of the puck, outplayed. Defense looks terrible, and you lose. Defense, man. Defense so far of this season has been pretty sloppy. Dumb turnovers. No control in the neutral zone. Just letting them just skate right on by. Letting them just walk it in. And it's not any one of them. I mean, they're all playing bad. I mean, Hedman, pretty bad turnover to have that game tied in the first place. So defense has really got to step it up. It's been bad.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a rock and a hard place. Like McDonough and Hedman are getting older, and the rookies haven't found their footing yet.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I know he's been back for 2 games, but I'm hoping that JJ Moser can be a boost to that. He was pretty solid last year.
Here, before we move on from this, while we're on the topic of the Lightning, is this the season we trade to get Stamkos back?
I don't know.
I think you go defense.
I think he might be the jolt. Might be you gotta get your star back in the building.
That would be awesome.
Maybe.
I would love it.
I think the depth has been solid. I think that's one thing. Takeaway is your bottom 6 guys have made some plays. Again, I think Pontus Holmberg. Love what I saw from him.
Yanni Gord's
Yeah.
been involved with a lot of plays. Yeah.
Gord's been there. You see Gonsalves get it going. Hagel's had great opportunities. Just gotta get it in.
I think there's gonna be a game we score like 5-6 goals, and then after that we just kind of go on cruise control.
Yeah, well, hopefully they do it another road trip here before we
Continue in the road trip.
get back. They're at Detroit Friday, October 17th at 7 p.m. That'll be on FanDuel Sports Network.
You could have made a little extended weekend out of this.
Yeah, a little fun road trip with the Lightning.
Yeah.
that seems to
Tripping
happen
with
a
the
lot.
Lightning.
Well, man, that's not good because the last time they were playing at the
Yeah,
the
the
playoffs,
same night or something.
it was on the same day,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
Bucs lost to
Yeah, 'cause
Detroit.
that's why I was
yeah.
thinking about it. We seem to always have these Detroit
I think we
meetups.
might have had it last year though, like during the actual game, and it was pretty good. But the playoff one I remember was bad.
bad. But I don't think did the Lightning even beat the Red Wings last year. I don't even think they
I don't
did.
know.
I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
so.
I don't
No,
think
they did. They beat the
Maybe
Red
once.
Wings. Dylan Duke had that goal. That was against the Red Wings. Yeah,
then the
so
Blue Jackets.
Red Wings, Blue Jackets. I'm saying it right now. 2-0. 2 straight wins for the Lightning
2-0.
back to back. And Nikita Kucherov is scoring 2 goals his first 2 of the season.
I went positive on them last week, so I'm gonna flip the coin, go the other way. I'm gonna go 1 and just gonna go 1 and 1. Can't
Mediocre.
Go too,
You lost the coin, so you're going mediocre.
yeah, can't be too positive on this one.
Yeah, Red Wings have started off pretty hot. They're 3-1. I think they're going to lose that game. And man, you hope they can beat up on the Blue Jackets, but we'll see. Yeah, I say 1-1. Gonsalves. I want to see him turn it up. I'm 1 for 1 so far.
I love
Let me go
Jake.
2 for
I love
2.
Jake Gonsalves. So yeah, check out the Lightning, 2 games this week, and check out Tampa Bay Buccaneers Monday Night Football, and check out TB3 Universities. Any USF Bulls fan, any Florida Gators fans, any Florida State Seminoles fans, any college football fans, you need to check out TB3 University. It's on the page. It's out now. So go check that out. If you're on the page and you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you think the Bucs score will be this Monday night against the Lions. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. And have a beautiful and blessed night.